What it do? What it do is JR the Boss Man with my man Darion TrueSpeech Thompson, and we got a special show for you today. Denver's Pioneers men's basketball coach Rodney Billups and Josh Martin, Bleacher Report with speech. Tell people how they can hear our show every week if they seem to want to miss it, which they should never do.
Oh, man, I don't understand why anybody would miss this show. We on so many platforms now, and I have to take this time to give a special shout-out to all of our partners. We on Audio Boom, Stitcher, Spreaker, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Play, anywhere that you could possibly think of that you want to hear the show, you can go ahead and check it out. Also, of course, the website, BossmanRadioShow.com. Check it out. We have all the interviews on there. If you want to go back, hear something in the archives, it's on there for you. And, of course, you can follow us on all social media because we put the links out for you people. We make it so simple. Follow us. Get hip and get plugged into the show.
And if you go to the archive, you will hear from my current guest, the coach of the Denver Pioneers, Rodney Billups on the Bossman Show. Coach, glad to have you back with Speech and myself, man. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm great, man. This time of year I'm undefeated, so I'm great. I'm blessed. I'm having a good time right now, trying to teach these kids how to play the right way and try to keep them out of trouble.
Well, I hear that, Coach. Are you showing them your half-court shot, man? You got a good half-court jumper, man. Look at you. I saw you, man, on Twitter, man. You teaching them that shot when it's crunch time, man.
Man, I wish I could. I wish the game was that easy for them, man. But I'm getting them closer to the 3-point line and away from the half-court line.
Oh, I got you. Now, Coach, you all had a fan jam last week. How was that for you guys, and what were some of the highlights for you and your program that night last week?
It was a good event. It was for men's and women's basketball. It was really the first time that the kids put the jersey on and got to smell the popcorn and was out there on the main floor and away from the practice arena. So the energy was high. They had a good time interacting with the kids that were there and the fans and the season ticket holders. It was a really, really good event. They was out there. We had a dunk contest. We had a 3-point contest that we shared with the women. It was just a really good experience for the student athletes. And, it was my first time to interact with student tickets, season ticket holders anyway. So it was a good event. It was positive, and that's really all I expected it to be.
Well, that's a beautiful thing, Coach. It's always great when the kids finally get that opportunity to really get out there on that hardwood and just feel it. It's one thing to really practice, but in the atmosphere, when you put the jersey on and you really you feel like you're part of the program. But, besides the fan jam, that took place, what are some of the other events at the university that the team will be doing this year to help further build that bridge between the community and the team and the fans? What are some of the other events that is going to help bring and gel and mesh all of that together throughout the season?
Well, we've done quite a few community activities so far. We went to Children's Hospital before school started. We went and fed the homeless. We went to the Ronald McDonald House, which is a platform where families who have children who are spending the night in the hospital, where this is where the families go while the kids are getting whatever treatment it is that they're going through, and we serve those people. We've done so many things just to like you said, bridge that gap of the university and the community. I'm from here, man, so I'm prideful about the city. I'm prideful about the state of Colorado. And I try to do everything that I can just to educate our kids about the city and how we can help the city and the problems that we are having in this city to someday, when these kids do have the resources to help, that they really help. And it's funny you asked that, because I've got an event tomorrow night just to create some energy and some buzz around our first game, November 12th, at a place in downtown Denver called Bleacher Report. But I'm trying to do everything I can just to educate, man, and hopefully I can touch someone's life outside of the basketball world and bring some excitement to the game.
Folks, yeah, different pioneers. Head coach Rodney Billups here on the Bossman Show, TrueSpeech Thursday with JR and Darion here with you. Now, Coach, we know you've started practice already, Coach. And how have you and your staff been approaching the practice as far as installing schemes and scrimmaging with the guys as the November 12th approaches when you guys play Jacksonville at home?
You know, when we got the job, the culture here was totally different than what I envisioned, right? So our staff, we do a lot of coaching effort and coaching toughness and trying to put them in uncomfortable positions to where now they have to fight through this adversity and play together and communicate together and try to win together. You know, they've always, and they were recruited this way, but they've always done things totally different than what I'm used to. I like to play fast and teach fast, and I need them to learn fast. So that's a lot of the emphasis in practice today. The practices are scheduled and planned on playing fast. So, you know, we switched the shot clock from 30 seconds to 24. We do dummy offense with a shot clock. Everything is always fast. And, you know, trying to get them to change the way they play, change the way they think, it's challenging, but it's also fun to see when it does come together how good we could really be.
That's beautiful, Coach. And to follow up on that, let me ask you this. What do you think because you brought up a very valid point, and I believe that this is a key aspect in a lot of basketball teams that to build up that chemistry and that toughness that you talked about, put in an uncomfortable situation. So outside of what you talked about, what are some other ways that can help gel the team together so they have that camaraderie and that closeness? And also, what are some of the ways that you help foster that toughness attitude? Because, you know, as we both know, sometimes you either got hard or you don't. You know, it's really hard to coach hard. So how do you try to help foster that, you know, and build that up in the team atmosphere?
You know, I'm positive by nature, right? I think us three, we get along very well just because of the energy is always high and we have fun, we laugh, we smile at each other. So I take that attitude to the court. Right, and I tell our guys, you always got to take the good with the bad. You got to take the bad with the good. And I think our staff, we do a good job of, you know, someday I might be the bad cop and I might be on them. And when I'm not, the assistants got to do that. So it's always somebody saying something every time, right, whether it's good or bad. And I think to develop some toughness, everybody has to be on the same page. Everybody has to understand why we do the things we do and have to be willing to be tougher mentally. You know, physically, all right, we all got Division I athletes. They always in the weight room. They're always working on their cardio and their conditioning. But the mental aspect of it, that's where you really generate some toughness. And just putting them in positions, you know, maybe basketball terms, down one with 10 seconds on the shot clock and you got to make a play for somebody else and not panicking to shoot a shot at 8, but, you know, taking your time, making a play for somebody else and getting it down to 3 or 2 before you shoot. Like plays like that generates a little toughness, or, you know, in the grand scheme of things, making them take a charge in a drill or making them dive on the floor. Just, you know, the small victories hopefully will make this thing into a big victory.
And, Coach, final one for you. This segment, Coach, here with Rodney Billups here on the Bossman Show. Now, Coach, you're at the point where you start kind of making your rotations of guys who you're going to play, decide how deep you're going to go. And also, in that same vein, who are some players our listeners should look out for on your roster this year? You're looking forward to having a big year for you guys and do big things for the Denver Pioneers in 2016-17.
Well, we've started to put a couple of things in offensively, but we've been teaching defense so hard in the last couple of weeks. You know, putting in schemes, learning how to guard the ball screen, putting in a press, putting in some out of bounds defensive plays. You know, that's the emphasis right now. I feel like if we can guard anybody and we can rebound, I think we give ourselves a chance to win. So we've been working on defense a ton. But on the flip side of that, we have put some offense in. We put some structure stuff in. We put our base offensive principles in. But we haven't done a lot of of actual plays yet. We're just playing with principles and trying to get used to playing fast and trying to score in transition. And I've got a couple guys that can do that. One kid, Joe Rosga, who's a sophomore for us. He's going to play the point guard position. He got picked second team All Summit League. He's very, very tough in everything that he does. He can shoot it. He can make plays for others. He's the floor general for us. And then another kid, Daniel Amigo, who's a 6'10", athletic, run, jump, block shots, kind of big fella, who's very skilled. I think those two put together, we'll have a chance offensively to be able to compete. But then I got to have some defenders. I got a freshman kid named Ade Murkey, who's just as athletic as anybody's ever seen, and he's taking on that defensive role. And then a senior, the only senior I have, Duke Douglas, and he'll be our defensive stopper as well. So I've got some pieces. We just got to all get on the same page.
No doubt. Folks, don't go anywhere. Rodney Billups will be back and speeching myself after the break, so stay tuned for that. So, folks, be ready, be prepared. Different Pioneer Basketball on the Bossman Show today. Be ready. Be back in a little bit.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, TrueSpeech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. TrueSpeech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.
Back on the Bossman Show, as promised. I told you he's back for another segment. Rodney Billups on the Bossman Show. Coach, you're back. We told you he would be back. The first time ever, Coach, we had a coach over 2 segments in a row. So you're the first one on the show, Coach. But hold it down for us, man. First time ever, Coach. 2 segments in a row on the Bossman Show.
Man, I appreciate you having me, man. I really do.
Hey, we love having you, man, because you're one of the realest guys we talked to this year in a long time on the show. I ain't lying. One of the realest dudes we talked to in a long time. Let's believe that. Now, Okay, ask you a little bit about the non-conference schedule. I know you're playing Jacksonville, a opening game. I know South Alabama's a team down the way from here. We got also Texas A&M. So is this non-conference schedule what you wanted it to be for your guys? Kind of test them a little bit. We can have Summit League play, or did you kind of feel like you could have did a little bit more or less depending on how you had to do it because you came in new as a new hire?
Well, I walked into quite a few games on the road. So we start our first 5 out of 7 games on the road. And, we start at home with Jacksonville. And then we go on the road, which this team last year was battle tested on the road. They were a better team on the road than they were at home. So what I did, I'm a competitor. I think we can compete and win every game on our schedule. I challenged our team, let's go undefeated at home. If we win all of our home games, we give ourselves a great chance of winning our league and increasing our RPI rating to somewhere where it's never been, which is top 80 in the country, right? So we play, half of the Mountain West with Air Force, Wyoming, San Jose State, all on the road. We play at Texas A&M, which is a tough game, a very tough game, and we're going to have to bring our hard hats to win that game or even compete. But then we play the Northern Colorados of the world. We play Arkansas, Pine Bluff. We got a tough road schedule in the non-conference, but nothing that we can't go in and compete and try to win. So, putting these guys in position to win in practice and preparing and doing all the things that we're supposed to do, I think we'll give ourselves a chance to compete.
And let's have some fun, Coach. I know you're a Broncos fan, and I feel bad for you guys if the Falcons come out there and beat you all. Because I really do. Because I look like I'm an idiot right now. I said the Falcons gonna go 0-6. I obviously was wrong because there's somehow Matt Ryan's playing good, but. Are you somewhat feel like the Broncos should have kept Brock Osweiler over Simeon and Lynch? Or
Nah.
how are you feeling about the quarterback situation? Because right now it's kind of shaky right now after San Diego and Atlanta, man. Talk to me about that.
Being the world champions last year, we had high expectations, right? We had Hall of Fame Peyton Manning last year. We go win the Super Bowl, and the whole town goes crazy. We corral around the team. Brock, he goes and does what he does, and there's no surprise that he's performing the way he's performing right now.
True.
But, we were down. Our head coach wasn't coaching. Y'all got us at a very vulnerable position when y'all came in here, y'all Falcons. So, I give that to y'all, but when it gets down to the nitty-gritty,
Coach.
Yo.
We lost you there for a second, man. I heard you say that the Falcons. We heard the part where the Falcons got lucky. And then also the line with Blake. I don't know what happened there, Coach.
Man,
that was the football guys, man. That's all that was. That was the football guys.
I said,
Falcons got lucky.
Exactly what
I said, where did Coach go? I'm sitting here, I'm in the studio, like, I know he didn't hang up. I didn't hang him up. I wasn't. Folks, that's live radio for you, folks. Live radio, it happens. So, Coach, feel free to start back over with your Falcons hate. I love to hear it. Break it, Coach.
Man. It ain't too much hate, but it's a little hate. I'm not a hater by nature, but my Broncos, they let me down last week. Let the Falcons come in and do what they did. You talked about the quarterback situation. We had an off day. We couldn't get our guys the ball. We couldn't make plays at the end of the game, which, that's not like us. That's not like the Broncos. And I still got faith in my team, man. Congratulations to the Atlanta Falcons. But take that with a grain of salt. We was down a little bit.
Do you feel like they got cheated on Sunday, though, Coach, with that pass interference call on Julio Jones? You feel like
Absolutely. Absolutely. the officials. There's too much technology. There's too many good officials out there to miss a call like that. That doesn't make sense.
True that.
Well, Coach, you bring up a good point, right? Not to segue, because you bring up a point, and me and Jay, we talk about this all the time, and I argue about it every single time we discuss football. Okay, the technology and the play calling. Now, Coach, you know I'm Detroit through my veins, Honolulu blue and silver. You know what I mean? So as a Lions fan, I know something about calls and being cheated when it comes to calls not going our way, and especially in critical situations, right? So, Coach, What is one thing in particular, or a couple things, what do you think can be done to help fix the egregious, and I do mean the egregious and literally game-changing blown calls in the NFL? And do you think that there should be some type of repercussions for referees, officials, the NFL themselves, when they literally miss calls and blow games for teams? Specifically, I'm talking about how, and I'm still a little salty about this, how I've never seen anybody pick up flags that are thrown and reverse calls. I'm not going to go into people. You've heard me complain about it for the past year. But things like that, Coach, what do you think can be done or should be done to help fix that problem? And do you think there should be repercussions on the back end when officials get it blatantly wrong?
Absolutely. And I can't speak for that game. I'm not in that game. I don't know the politics of that game. But in the college game, in our setting, in our world, there's no accountability for the officials, right? There's officials that make bad calls all the time, and officials they're never going to be perfect, right? They're going to miss some, and they're going to make some bad calls, but there's no accountability taken for it, right? Officials don't lose opportunities to coach the next game. They're not fined. They don't lose money for making a bad call on a game deciding play. And I think personally, I'm with you. There should be some accountability for that. Whether it's some training, whether it's some public apology, whether it's something that they officials have to do to be accountable for their calls, because they're getting at the NFL and the NBA level, they are getting a ton of money to make the right call, and they don't. Even at the college level, at the Division I level, they're getting paid a ton of money to make these calls and get it right. And when they don't, they just need to acknowledge it. Coaches make bad calls, players they miss shots or miss reads. They got to get on that podium at the end of the game at the press conference, and they got to acknowledge that. Referees don't. There's no accountability. So I think that there should be something that says, "Hey, look, you got to take blame for that."
Agreed.
I agree with you, Coach. I really do. I really do, because, like you said, when it comes to the athletes, they do have to stand up there and face the judgment of the people. They literally have to open themselves up for the scrutiny of public opinion. What did you do, or what did you not do? Why did your team lose? There's really a lot of blame placed on the athletes and the coaches and things of that nature. And you're right. The referees and the officials have no accountability. So I'm in agreement with you, Coach. I think that there should be something done. Now, personally, I feel the college game.
Don't get it twisted. Excuse me for interrupting, but don't get it twisted. Them officials
are
making hundreds of thousands of dollars. They not making $10 a game like a rec league. They're making hundreds of thousands of dollars to get these calls right, and they need to get them right or take accountability for it. That's where I'm at.
Exactly.
And I'm with you, Coach, because from a coaching standpoint, if any coach continues to make bad calls, bad coaching schemes, bad plays, your job is on the line. And I've never seen any official really face repercussions for continuously getting these calls wrong. And and let's be honest, whether it's non-conference or conference, every single win matters. Every single game matters. It's not like you got four-way games at the D1 or the professional level. Everything matters. So I'm with you. I think that there should be more accountability. I really do. Now let me ask you this: what do you think at the D1 level? What do you think the NCAA should look at as far as looking into that, or do you think that the NCAA will even acknowledge it? You know what I mean? Or what are some of the other rules that you would like to see kind of change or tweak to help improve the game a little bit? Moving forward with the NCAA.
I think that they're changing the rules and the way the game's being officiated to make it more fun and enjoyable for the viewer, for the fans. I like the fact that they're doing that. I think they're taking the contact out of the game, which, as a high school player, as a youth kid, I think the kids are being coached to play physical and be aggressive. So when they get to the college level and so on, it's a conflict of interest, because now you can't play with your hands. You can't, stop a kid from cutting through the lane. Like the rules are changing so much to get the free throw shots up and get the score up, that the game is on. It's changing a little bit, but I think that the NCAA officials, they do need to take some accountability for what they do. There's training that they have to go through every summer just to grow and enhance their play calling, but it's never going to be perfect. At the highest level, at the Power 5 level, they get the best officials, and it just kind of tapers off depending on the league that you're in. So it all depends on who you get that night, as if the call is going to be good or the call is going to be bad. And you just got to accept the good with the bad and move on and hope that your kids make some shots. That's really it.
Exactly. Outshoot the coverage, baby.
Exactly.
Play for bad calls. There it is. Play for the bad calls.
Hey, if you can make some shots, the calls don't matter. That's what I've always said.
Exactly.
There it is.
Now, Coach, looking at my schedule, I'll see on December 11th, I'll be seeing your Broncos play the Titans in Nashville. So I was seeing some pictures from that game, Coach. I'll do that for you.
Hey, please do. It's going to be a great day for the Broncos.
Yes,
I'm predicting it
The
now.
Titans are god-awful. You're right.
Please, yes, it is.
I applaud the confidence, Coach.
Speech
That'd be a
the
good
Titans.
I got
The Titans are not good.
in my league, and I'm gonna start them.
Look, Coach, I was at the Titans game on Sunday. They barely beat the hapless Browns. So they not that good.
So we're gonna be straight.
Yeah, y'all good.
Straight.
Now, talk about your Nuggets, Coach. Have you thought about maybe this idea? Have you thought about giving Coach Malone and helping those guys kind of mentor your team out there and you the same town together? And just in general, I think the Nuggets going to kind of take a step this year and maybe be better than the Western Conference, where they may be a year or two away from being good for real.
I got with those coaches there, and we share ideas during the summertime. And our game is very different than their game. But we do talk, and I do seek their leadership with a lot of ideas that I lay on to our team. But our game is so different, man. Those guys on their team and their roster, they're so good at the things that we're not, like passing and making plays for others and playing fast and thinking fast. That it's hard to adopt everything that they do. But we do share information and ideas during the summertime. And I think they got a good young team. I'm not sure if they're 1 year away or 3 years away, but I think in the future that they're going to be somebody to reckon with, because they do have very young talent, very good talent.
Yes, indeed. Well, Coach Billups, I tell you what, man, it's always a pleasure. Third time being on the show. That's a rarity too speech. 33 times in 1 year on the show. So you're the coach, and you're a bad dude. We have you on 3 times in a year, man. Just know that, brother.
Coach killing it.
Hey, man, let's make it a 4th and a 5th time, man. I'm ready.
Coach, hey.
Let's do it.
We got you. Hey, I'll hit up Chris, and I'll hit you up. We'll make it happen, Coach, no doubt.
Nah, man, I appreciate y'all having me, man. This is always fun for me.
Yes, indeed. Well, Coach, you'll get that win against Jacksonville. We're going to be supporting you, and we'll talk to you around Thanksgiving or before that. We never know, Coach. We may say, yo, come back on next week. You never know, Coach. But we'll get you back on here, boy, that 4th and 5th time and keep on coming with you, Coach.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. You got my number. Hit me whenever, man.
No doubt, folks. Denver Pioneers head coach, Rodney Billups on the Bossman Show. I had to get you to you on that, John. For you. Coming up next, Josh Martin after the break.
Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting or Twitter at Coach TWill24 or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, TrueSpeech and 313 Fresh. We're going to do 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. TrueSpeech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.
The Bossman Show, 2 Weeks Thursday. We had Coach Rodney Billups on the Bossman Show from Denver Pioneers. They really staying with the NBA basketball theme with my man from Bleacher Report, NBA lead writer Josh Martin here on the Bossman Show. Josh, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. Just gearing up for another great season here. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm gearing up as well. The Hawks are last home game of preseason is right around the corner. The Hawks doing their thing. Let me start you off with a Hawk question, Josh.
Sure.
The Hawks take a step back when they traded pretty much Dwight Howard for Al Horford, or Al for Dwight Howard and Jen Schroeder for Jeff Teague. Did the Hawks take a step back, and are they going to be any good this year at all?
Well, I think they certainly did take a step back. When you look at who Al Horford was and what he meant to the Atlanta Hawks, he was the one guy who was there throughout the 9-year playoff streak. He was the foundation of that organizational culture that kept them going through thick and thin, and they enjoyed a tremendous amount of success with him. And when you take a guy like Al Horford out of your locker room, it's tough to really make up for that void, even more so when you replace him with a guy like Dwight Howard, who's never really been known to be sort of a great locker room presence, not really considered a great leader at that position or really at any position. So I think by that very fact, they're going to take a step back. And also just they're going to have to play a totally different style. You're not going to have 5 guys out there now who can all dribble, pass, and shoot. You put Dwight in there. He can't shoot, obviously. He's not much of a passer, not much of a dribbler. He's much more of just a finisher. Dennis Schroeder, not a great shooter at the point guard spot. So just by virtue of having to become a different team, I think the Hawks are going to struggle, certainly at the outset, and they could struggle well into the season as well.
Well, you bring up a very, very, very good point, Josh. Speaking about Dwight, all right, now as an impactful of a player as he is, physically, he's dominant. We know what he has done in the past. We know his abilities. We know his capabilities. Why do you think that particular situation just isn't going to work with Dwight, or it wasn't going to work? What is your take on this specifically? Was it just the factors that you named, or is there something deeper than that? You know, because, I mean, he seems to be a liked guy, a well-liked guy. You know, he's very personable, things of that nature, and he is physically talented. Why do you think that the situation just didn't work out the way it was supposed to?
Well, I mean, Dwight's had a lot of different issues over the years. I mean, sometimes he's butted heads with teammates. I think he might have gotten a little bit more flack for that than I think he necessarily deserved. But as far as his skills and abilities, they're not what they were when he was in Orlando. He can still dial it up at times. He can still be a tremendous impact player, especially at the defensive end when he's healthy and when he's focused. But it's not really an every night proposition for Dwight anymore, and certainly not even at the level of his heyday in Orlando. You know, he's 30 now. He'll be 31 in December. And guys with his profile as, you know, big guys who rely on their athleticism and don't really have a ton of skill, this is about the age when you really see them start to decline. So I think for the Hawks, they have to hope that Dwight still has some of that old Dwight left in him, that putting him in a pick-and-roll system with Dennis Schroeder as the point guard will help to revive the Dwight of old a little bit. But I think there's a lot of trepidation. There should be a lot of concern among Hawks fans that Dwight can really hump it up to be the Dwight of old, considering, you know, how far removed he is from that guy.
And Josh, you know what's scary? That Dwight Howard's been shooting 3-pointers and jump shots in training camp in the offseason. So,
I mean, look, Dwight, in Dwight's world, Dwight is a shooter, Dwight is a scorer, but in reality, Dwight is none of those things. I know he fancies himself. He likes to talk about his days in high school when he played point guard, and I know with some trainers he's worked with in recent years, he's sort of insisted that he could be a scorer, that he could be a guy who shoots out to mid-range, but I think we all know, and everyone should know by now, that that's really not Dwight's game. And if Dwight is going to try to be a perimeter player of all things, then he's taking himself out of the very things that have made him great and could continue to make him great on the interior.
Josh, when I tell you I watch training camp, I would come to Atlanta Dream games. He's out there shooting before the game, before they come out to warm up. He's shooting threes with Darvin Ham and shooting jumpers with Darvin Ham. And I was like, what? Why? You know, I miss Al Horford already. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
It's that's going to be interesting for sure. I mean, look, if Dwight wants to mess around before the game, fine. That's his prerogative. I think the Hawks just have to hope that he doesn't take too much of that to heart and doesn't start going out there hovering around the three-point line, asking for the ball, ready to launch jumpers.
He'll be the Josh Smith 2.0 of Philip Stringer. I guarantee it.
Look, at least Josh Smith had some practice shooting three-pointers in NBA games, right?
True.
Dwight Howard, look, you can say all those things, but Dwight Howard has never quite had that sort of practice. So even with him, there would be even more trepidation, I would think, than Josh Smith going back to those days of old with his shot.
Exactly. And Josh, we had a very interesting offseason, exciting in many different ways. What move or moves that kind of flew under the radar would you say are going to have the biggest impact on the league this year?
I think when everybody talks about the Warriors and how are you going to beat the Warriors, there aren't, and who's going to beat them, there aren't many teams out there that are equipped to do it. But I think the Cavaliers are still equipped, and I think their move trading for Mike Dunleavy from the Chicago Bulls gives them another weapon to help them in that regard. You know, Dunleavy has been a great shooter throughout his career. I think he's very much underrated as a defender. He played well defensively when he was in Chicago under Tom Thibodeau, so I think it's possible that he could come into Cleveland and maybe not be the difference maker per se for the Cavaliers, but could be one of many difference makers for a Cavaliers team that's going to need all of the difference makers it can muster if it's going to be the team to take down the Golden State Warriors at season's end.
You know, you bring up a good point, Josh. And I didn't want to delve into the Warriors trade. I really didn't, because me personally, I'm not a fan of it. I don't like it. I believe that it eliminates the surprise, shock, and the desire to see the regular season, because to me, it lays it all out for you. You know who's going to go. I mean, you name two teams who I personally think are going to go back. The Cavs and the Warriors, let's be honest. but I do like what some other teams have done. Now, outside of the Cavs and the Warriors, which we all know, in my personal opinion, I wouldn't be shocked to see a repeat of last year's finals. What are some of the other teams, some of the teams that didn't really make a lot of noise, or some of the bigger name trades that you really think are going to have an impact during the regular season and actually make it, interesting to watch basketball again this regular season and might be productive come playoff time?
I mean, the Clippers are the team that I think you have to look at as the chief challenger to a third straight Warriors-Cavs final. You look at this Clippers team, it's been together, certainly with Chris Paul for 5 years now. JJ Redick has been there for a while. Jamal Crawford's been there for a while. Still got Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. They have as sturdy a core as you'll find in the NBA today. When you talk about talent and combined experience as a unit, they've come close in the playoffs. They were the last team to beat the Warriors in the playoffs. They have a ton of talent. They have a pretty good coach in Doc Rivers, and they should be starting this season on a really strong foot. They know what they're going to do defensively. They won't have to search for that as the season goes along. They know what they're going to do offensively. This is a Clippers team, that comes in with all the ingredients to be a major power player again in the Western Conference. I think LA will end up being the second best team in the West. I think come playoff time in a series against the Warriors, it's going to come down to really what can the Clippers do with their size, with Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan, to really punish a Warriors team that to a great extent has downsized from last year, especially with the loss of Andrew Bogut to clear space for Kevin Durant.
I agree with you. I really think that, the Clip Show, I think they do have the best chance, but I got to ask you this. How far are they going to get in the playoffs this year? Because for some reason, they always just fail to live up to their expectations and potential in the playoffs. And I love Doc Rivers. I love the Clippers. I really do. I really, truly do. And I love each and every player on the Clippers roster. But come playoff time, are we going to have a repeat of years past? Or do you think they're actually going to make it to the Western Conference Finals this year and really put up a legitimate fight against the Warriors?
I think they could. I mean, they've had the goods to get there, the last several years now. They blew a great shot against OKC in 2014. They blew a 3-1 lead against the Rockets in 2015. And last year, injuries really did them in the first round. So I think when you look at the hierarchy of the Western Conference right now, obviously it's the Warriors on top. I think the Clippers are the second best team in the conference. A lot of folks still like San Antonio. They still like the Spurs after they went out and brought in Pau Gasol and David Lee to essentially replace Tim Duncan and David West. But in my mind, those are two significant downgrades defensively. You factor in Tony Parker falling off, Manu Ginobili nearing retirement. Now there's rumblings that maybe LaMarcus Aldridge isn't a good fit in San Antonio. And that to me is a situation that's still in flux. The Clippers are a solid team. They know who they are on both ends of the floor. They have very clear identity. They know what works for them. It's just a matter of maintaining that identity under pressure in the playoffs. And I think that's part of why you see now that the Clippers are making a concerted effort to get other guys involved as playmakers outside of Chris Paul. They brought in Raymond Felton as a legit backup point guard and as a guy who can play alongside Chris. They expect that Blake Griffin, they're trying to stagger minutes between Blake Griffin and Chris Paul to give Blake some more playmaking responsibility, take some more pressure off Chris. Everything to me that the Clippers have done as far as changing their roster in the preseason and changing the way they play is geared towards making Chris Paul's life a little bit easier during the regular season, so that number one, he will be rested and ready come playoff time. He can sort of maintain his focus, maintain his poise during those moments. And number two, in those moments, should Chris struggle again under pressure, that the Clippers will have other options that they can turn to generate offense in a pinch.
And final one for you, Josh, is this. Earlier in the offseason, I talked to your colleague Howard Beck, and he expected a lot of willing and dealing at the NBA draft and the trade on the free agency period. And it didn't really happen. And you think it was because of the CBA it been in flux, but now we're hearing rumblings that the CBA will be in place by December 15th, and the Player Association and those guys will, and the league will come to an agreement. So do you feel like it'll open up more movement now since the CBA will be ratified, most likely a new one in place, and people know what will be going on in the next 5 to 7 years in the league with all the money coming in?
I don't know if it'll necessarily be a matter of the collective bargaining agreement being agreed to that will generate more movement. I think a lot of that is just dictated by the teams involved and the players involved. And a lot of it, too, for teams now is seeing firsthand what that jump in the salary cap meant, and also seeing that, this next season or next summer, the league is projecting a rise to around $102 million for the salary cap, whereas previously they'd figured around $110 million were their projections. Those projections went down because teams spent so much money this past summer. So with the jump being smaller and teams having a better sense of what that means for free agency, I think you will see more teams that are ready, willing, and able and eager to sort of pull off a trade and go after guys via trade rather than try to pluck them out of free agency where they know that they could really have the wool pulled over their eyes and wind up signing a guy for way more money than they want to.
And Josh, think about this. What we thought was a bad contract under the old CBA is no longer a bad contract. It's like a mid-grade contract now. So what's a bad deal is not really a bad deal what it used to be. And also, if you're a rookie guy, I want to really sign an extension on this old CBA, knowing that if I wait out a year, I can really sign for big in the new CBA.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I mean, rookies are expected to get a raise as well. You'll see draft slotted salaries kind of go up along with CBA. So we'll see where the business of the league goes from here on. But it's tough to say what that climate's going to be like because we don't know the details of the new collective bargaining agreement or what the league and the players might agree to or when they might agree to it. So it's really hard to say much about that right now.
Good deal. Well, Josh, I'm glad to get you on the show, man. I've been a friend of your work for a long time on Bleacher Report. You do great work, man. I'm glad to get you on this show for doing it again with you down the road, brother.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks for having me.
All right, folks, that's Josh Martin here on the Bossman Show. Hope you enjoy this week's show. Rodney Billups and Josh coming up next. Boss Report after the break.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting or Twitter at Coach TWill24 or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, TrueSpeech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. TrueSpeech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.
Bossman Show. Been a great week for us here. Rodney Billups and Josh Martin. And we close out with my man TrueSpeech for the Boss Report. Speech. Tell me about this week's show, man. Did you enjoy what we had so far with Rodney and Josh Martin, man?
First of all, I got to give a shout out to my brother, Rodney Billups, man. One of the realest dudes we've had on the show. Always a pleasure. Always brings the energy. Always brings the insight. Love chopping up with the dude, man. Just a real wholesome brother. I can't wait to have him back on the show. Wish him much love and success to the Denver team they got out there. And, you know, we're going to be watching. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely going to be watching and keeping a close eye on the team. But, dude, and then Josh came through and he held it down, man. You know, we got a chance to chop it up about a myriad of things. And it was super dope. This week, great interviews. Brothers came through and knocked it out. So I think we're on track to have a great show as always.
No doubt.
This particular week, really solid.
No doubt. And folks, close up with the Boss Report. It's always a pleasure. So, folks, you've been waiting on it. It's time for it. It is here. It's the Boss Report. Dog first story. New York man arrested after robbing McDonald's with a pellet gun and 2 pipe bombs due to, quote, being hungry, horny, needing drug money for a link-up session later.
That's a lot to digest. At one time, he robbed a McDonald's with a pellet gun, first of all. Wow. Second of all, he said he was hungry, horny, and he wanted to be high. So he robbed McDonald's so he could get some food and some drug money? Or was he going to go buy a hooker? I mean, there's a lot of things I'm confused about in that particular story. You know, just some details I'm not clear on.
Exactly.
But it's layered. Very layered story.
Complex and layered. All are usually the worst ones ever.
Yeah, and I would have to say for sure.
And fancy Florida crazies. Florida man arrested after attempting to steal, get this, $172 worth of steak and lobster stuffed down his pants.
How did he honestly think that nobody would notice $172 of meat stuffed in somebody's pants?
Exactly.
I mean, seriously. Like, what did he think it was? Did he think he was going to think he had gas? Did he think was he going to lie and say it was a stack of money? Come on, dog. It's like, he really thought nobody was going to notice that.
Exactly. Well, Tennessee man is arrested after punting gas attendant in the face after broster chicken sold to him went south on him and let him in the bathroom for a long time.
You know, I'm done, bro. You have to get broster chicken. Yo, how ignorant you gotta be to start your static over broasted chicken, dog. That's the most ethnic thing I've ever heard in my life, bro. Like, I can't even, dog. I can't even. You said broasted chicken? Are you serious?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Lord have mercy. Broasted chicken?
Exactly. Ooh-wee. And Florida carjacker arrested after asking victim for a hug after getting to his destination that he robbed him from.
Wait. What? Wait. He carjacked somebody, but he stayed in the car with him. And then when he got to his destination safely, he gave him a hug.
Yes.
Thanked him.
Yes.
Then it is as dumb as I thought it was. Because I was like, I'm like, JR ain't read that right. Like, wait, what? Like, what?
Exactly.
Dog, who would think that that's okay? Like, Like, come on, man. Like, come on, man. Oh my God.
Well, North Carolina man is arrested after shooting his warm milk on woman in Dollar General checkout line because, quote, her ass was sitting right and that dress was so damn tight.
He must be a Trump supporter. I'm pretty sure he was a Trump supporter.
He was a black man, brother.
So what?
He was a black man.
Hey, look, it's some of them too, dog. I'm saying, man, stupidity knows no color barriers, no color bounds. I'm just saying, he's got to be a Trump supporter. That's a Trump-like maneuver.
Exactly. Well, this is very stupid. Florida woman arrested after sending drugs via mail to her daughter in jail.
Did she not think that they were going to check the package that you sent in jail? I mean, it's jail. This ain't like you're sending it to somebody's crib. This ain't private mail you're sending it. You're sending it to a correctional institution. They can and legally will go through any and all packages that you send inside of them. Like, that's just ridiculous.
Well, shaking my head on this one. Utah father starts GoFundMe after hospital charges him $39.35 to hold his baby, coded, quote, skin-to-skin contact.
You know what? I saw that, bro, and I'm going to be honest with you. I would have been that black guy. I would have raised hell on earth if they would have charged me $35 to hold my own baby. Oh, no, somebody about to get their ass kicked. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, you don't do that. You don't do that. Like, that's just egregious and ridiculous. How you going to charge somebody to hold their own kid? Like, come on. Like, it would be for real. You know what I mean? Like, is this where we at in society? Like, for real?
Yeah.
This where we at? Come on, man.
Well, Florida man arrested after exposing himself to a woman in Walmart fitting room, requesting, quote, that she partakes of the blessed and sacred syrup bestowed by him.
Is he another one of those pastors? Because I've seen them get too many stories of these pastors running up with this ridiculous, blessed, sacred, golden arches milk. Like, come on, now. You sound ridiculous. Like, what the hell is going on with this nonsense?
Nah, he is trying to get over, bro. He in a path. He's trying to get over. Yeah. Crazy. Well,
that's all I'm going to say.
People ain't ish. 911 operator in Houston arrested for hanging up on callers saying, quote, ain't nobody got time for this bleep.
You know, I saw that story, man, and I was disgusted by it because it's like, you are literally the first line of defense when people actually go through the trouble of calling somebody for assistance. They call 911. They want to talk to the operator. They want to get their situation handled. If the person calls 911, damn it, it's a problem. So why would this lady, like, your job is to talk to people. Literally, your job is to sit there and talk to people. How? I can't understand that logic, man. I just can't find myself being able to comprehend what the hell was going through this woman's head. I don't get it. I ain't got the answers and I ain't got a clue.
Well, this right here, we're going to throw you off. Florida man arrested after leaving 3 dogs, twin baby, and baby gator in the car while he got shaped and trimmed up at the mall for an outing later with a couple of honeys.
I figured I was about to say, I think this is going to revolve around somewhere in here. In some way, shape, or form.
3 dogs, twin babies, and a baby gator in one hot car together? What?
First of all, how does one come into possession of a baby alligator? Where do you go to find one? I'm in Michigan, so I ain't no gator here unless they in the zoo or in the aquarium. But it's just, why do so many people have baby alligators? Is that how it goes down in Florida?
If you're near the water, they kind of come out the water, kind of test themselves on land, so you can maybe scoop one up. You're not supposed to, but you can.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's kind of illegal, ain't it?
It is.
Yeah, I would imagine that.
Having a pet gator in Florida is illegal, yes. But many people have pet gators. And
wow.
My thing about that is they turn on you eventually when they get bigger.
Yeah, they get big. Gators aren't really the best pets. Never had a pet
alligator.
But
you can't pet them when they get bigger.
You can't take them for walks. You can't take them for walks. You know, you can't put a leash on them. You can't train them. You know, they gotta do what they want to do. So you know, yeah, not really the way that I would go as far as pets would be.
So why would you leave your 3 dogs in the car with your twin babies and a gator in a hot car? I don't get that. Why those 6 beings together? And then he said it in the first place.
I ain't got that answer's sweat.
Wow. Ooh-wee.
Yeah, I know. That's one for the record books.
Year in review story right there, for real.
Yeah.
Drugs are bad, okay? New York man high off LSD and lean arrested after breaking into neighbor's house to save dog from imaginary fire.
Was it a real fire or did he imagine a fire?
Imaginary fire. House was on fire.
Imaginary fire.
He was that high.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on LSD. People, hallucinogens are bad. They really are. I wouldn't trust them. But that's just me. You know, and I think many people would also agree. Hallucinogenic drugs ain't really the best way to go. Just saying.
Exactly.
Just saying.
Well, Florida woman arrested after police are alerted to video of her 7-year-old son driving while she was home receiving some tag team action from some old guy friends.
So she got caught and ran the train on her while her 7-year-old was out driving the car.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to proudly present to you the mother of the year. This. Because that's ridiculous, dog. I mean, this came to a certain point. We can't put your own desires in one. I'm not going to call it a need, because I don't really comprehend a need to get a train ran on you. So, we're just going to call it a desire and a want. So, I don't really understand how people put the desires and the wants over the safety and well-being of their children. You know, like the desire and the want to get gangbanged by 2 dudes. I don't really think that that's a good way to go as far as decision-making is concerned when you got a 7-year-old driving the car. In retrospect, probably not a good idea. But hell, what do I know? I only use common sense. So, there you go.
How did the 7-year-old even reach the gas pedal?
Life, Bill. Life. He's probably a tall kid. You know, they use growth hormones and all these things.
Yeah, true. Well, Oklahoma man arrested after being caught on tape booby trapping Walmart shopping carts with razor blades.
See, it just comes to a point where evil just becomes despicable and petty. Why? I just have to ask the question, for what? Why? You know, what do you get out of that? What point, what rhyme, what reason, what, where, who, when, and how? You know what I mean? I don't understand that. What joy and satisfaction do you get out of razor blade shopping carts? Kids use them, old people. Come on, man.
Exactly. Florida man arrested after doing burnouts in front of news crew doing post-hurricane cleanup coverage saying, quote, "It's my time to shine, bees. You feel me? F with me. Your boy." For real.
I saw that clip, and it was literally the funniest thing I've ever seen. It was up there as some of the funniest things I've ever seen, bro. I mean, he was doing some serious burnouts. Like, he was getting after it, dog. He was, I mean, just foot to the gas, and he was rolling. And he kept riding by the camera, and it was so funny, dog. It was absolutely positively hilarious.
His quote was even worse.
Yeah, I mean, the quote was horrible, but it was funny. Like, if you've seen the footage, man, it was amazing.
I did. And final story for you.
I was dying laughing.
Final story today, this week, Atlanta Uber driver suspended after getting physical with a female patient due to, quote, her slick talk and leaving her with a black eye outside of the Midtown Taco Mat.
can we take this time to give a special shout out to the Taco Mac for always keeping it live? But yeah, man, you can't be beating home people. Come on, dog. You can't be putting your hands on. That's not how that goes.
What quote? Slick talk.
Not okay,
What is
bro.
quote? Slick talk.
That is 100% not okay.
Exactly. And of course, why did it happen outside of Taco Mac?
Because what other place would it happen outside of, man? Gotta be funny. Gotta be the Mac. Shout out to the Mac.
Exactly. So, dog, what is your take on this week's Boss Report?
Yeah, that gangbang definitely gonna make the year in review. And my man with 6 Alligators is definitely gonna make the year in review too. Shout out to Taco Mac for just doing Taco Mac. Like, we roll with y'all. That's cool, because Taco Mac is awesome. Yeah, but this has been a very layered and textured Boss Report, bro. I've been disgusted by a lot. But yeah.
At least it wasn't naked and being stupid and doing a hurricane. At least it wasn't naked.
Dude, I don't even know.
Today, there was nobody that was naked today, which is good. You know.
And random masturbation. You know what I mean? Naked and random masturbation.
Exactly. So, dog, what close up the Boss Report this week, man? Tell us what's going on with the Ground ENT, man. What you got going on with up in TO coming up for you, man?
Oh, dude, it's absolutely wonderful, man. And all my folks in Toronto, come holler at your boy. We will be up there in November, I believe the 15th to the 20th. We will get the exact dates very soon, so you all need to hit up familyground.com, but we will be out there rocking out the end of the week. I'm so thrilled, man. We are so blessed to be able to go back out there and rock out. We're going to have a few shows out there, man. So if you in what they call it, the 6 dot, you know what I mean? The dot is going to be live. It's going to be lit. We are looking forward to it. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And, of course, we got the brand new single that we just released called Shots Fired. Very heavily politically charged joint. I need everybody to go on familyground.com and check that out. Also go to soundcloud.com/familygrind to check that out. Like it, share it, leave a comment. You gotta check this song out. It is an amazing track, you know what I mean? Very political, very hard hitting, very heavy. You know, it's deep, but it's definitely one of my favorite songs of the year. So I'm looking forward to it. Also, shout out to Ace Boogie. He still has the EP Nice to Meet You. It's free. People free. FR to the double E. Hit up familyground.com and check that out. illstreetonline.com is where you can purchase all the music, the merch, and everything like that. That's illstreetonline.com. illstreetonline.com. Or hit up familyground.com. We got you things.
No doubt, folks. Bossman Show, BossmanShow.com.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, TrueSpeech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. TrueSpeech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.